NFL Today is presented by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 41.
And welcome back to the NFL Today, where it's time for a Visa First on the Field. The Chargers are taking on the Ravens today. From our New York studios, let's fly on down to Baltimore, where Kevin Harlan and Rich Gannon are standing by. Gentlemen.
JB, 2 of the 7 remaining undefeated NFL teams meet today here in Baltimore. It's the Chargers against the Ravens.
Let's go! Let's start with us. Number 1, dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3, dominate. Let's go.
The 2 top defenses in the NFL. What a great matchup on Week 4. Hi again, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kevin Harlan, along with former NFL MVP Rich Gannon. Let's see, a year ago at this time, the Baltimore Ravens were winless and they had lost their quarterback for most of the season. What a difference a year makes. Now they've got former MVP quarterback Steve McNair, and this team is unbeaten at 3-0, surprising a lot of people. But the cornerstone, Rich, remains their defense.
Well, Kevin, it's hard to talk about this Ravens defense without talking about the man in the middle, Ray Lewis. He's the one that makes it all get going. He gets it started. He's their emotional leader. But let's not kid ourselves. They have one heck of a supporting cast, and this is a fast, athletic, aggressive group. But what they really want to do is they want to feature their blitz packages, and they'll come after you from all ends of the field. The big key today will be for the San Diego offense to really find those blitzes, track those blitzes, and not be surprised.
Now, Rich, statistically, when you take a look at Steve McNair, his numbers are not eye-popping. So what has stood out to you about his performance?
Well, Kevin, I really believe you have to throw the numbers and the statistics out the window when you're talking about Steve McNair. I really believe he's getting comfortable with this system and the players around him. But the bottom line is he's been in a lot of big games. He's a great competitor. He's a winner, and this organization is happy to have Steve McNair.
Well, I know you like McNair, and listen to what his coach Brian Billick says about him.
You can't be in the huddle and not recognize the way he is a professional and the way he approaches the game. And that causes people around him to raise their level of play. Clearly, at the quarterback position, which is always so pivotal, it's the first time we've had that since I've been here, and I think since the franchise has been in Baltimore.
Now let's swing our attention to the unbeaten San Diego Chargers. This team was probably the best in the NFL not to make the playoffs a year ago, so they've started 2-0. They've had some off-the-field distractions, as the people in California know about. A new starting safety today. All that being said, like Baltimore, their big calling card is their defense.
Well, Kevin, this is a defense that absolutely loves to rush the passer, but in order to do so, they have to stop the run early. And once they do that, then they turn loose Sean Merriman and Sean Phillips, 2 of the best rushing linebackers in football. Kevin, that's quite a tandem off the edge for the Chargers.
The San Diego Chargers, beginning this season, were the only team in the NFL to start their quarterback who had had no previous NFL starts. But so far, so good for their young Phillip Rivers.
Well, it has been good, but the game plan with Phillip Rivers is very similar to what the Pittsburgh Steelers did with Ben Roethlisberger in their first year. They want to run the ball effectively. They want to rely on their defense for turnovers in field position, and they want to ask them not to throw the ball 35 or 40 times. Those numbers are way too high for the Chargers.
And Rich, it's like a who's who on their offensive roster.
Yeah, they have some key players, and those key players have to make some big plays today for this offense. But I really believe the key for San Diego offensively, they have to play with patience and poise. It's not always going to be pretty when you face the Ravens defensively, but if you don't panic, there will be some opportunities, some big plays for you somewhere down the line.
And now for our big game this afternoon in Baltimore, our Dell Direct Game Points.
Well, Baltimore, you can't let LaDainian Tomlinson beat you. Make Phillip Rivers have to do it and make him uncomfortable along the way. San Diego, don't be overwhelmed by all the different looks. Rather, focus on what you need to get done, and finally, take care of the ball in a game like this. Turnovers in field position are usually the difference.
And for your Dell Direct Game Points, log on to CBSSportsline.com.
Charlie does the unthinkable. Spends time with his mom.
When was the last time you had a prostate exam?
Feels like I'm having one now. 2.5 men. I am this close to sticking my tongue in a light socket. Tomorrow.
Catch the 4-time Emmy winner on New Amazing Race, CBS tonight after 60 Minutes.
NFL Sunday Ticket brought to you by Bridgestone Tires. Passion for excellence.
Take away LaDainian, the Chargers got nothing.
Excuse me, Greg?
Yeah. Has this ever been you?
With NFL Game Day, help is on the way.
Flip over to Rich and the Gang for the best highlight show on TV. Watch NFL Game Day on NFL Network.
This Thanksgiving, live NFL games on NFL Network.
Need new tires? Get to the big Bridgestone rebate event for up to a $100 mail-in rebate on select Bridgestone Dueler tires, September 7th through October 7th. Only at your local participating Bridgestone and Firestone retailer. Wherever you see this Bridgestone sign.
Multiply your possibilities. Introducing Intel Core 2 Duo, the world's best processors.
Anderson the Spider Silva is the most devastating striker in the middleweight division.
This is a different kind of strike. Lehman goes down. Chris Lehman lasts less than 1 minute. Wow, what a finish.
Brazilian sensation Anderson Silva battles champion Rich Ace Franklin for the UFC middleweight title. The Ultimate Fighting Championship presents UFC 64 Unstoppable. Live Saturday, October 14th from the Mandalay Bay Event Center in Las Vegas on DirecTV pay-per-view.
Welcome to Baltimore. Two undefeated in first place teams, the Chargers, the Ravens. Our kickoff is next.
Presenting Subway Fresh Buzz, a fresh look at teams creating a buzz this season. Subway, eat fresh. After months of hardship, the Saints have returned to New Orleans. Led by Drew Brees, Reggie Bush, and Joe Horn, the Saints have won their first 3 games and brought hope and joy back to the Big Easy.
Covered by the Saints for a touchdown! Oh, baby!
Subway Daytime Drama presents Reggie Bush in The Rookie.
I'll never play. Sure you will, kiddo. Just gotta stay hungry. But if I eat this, I won't be hungry anymore.
Eat the sandwich! Subway Restaurants. Tasty new premium steak sandwiches like the blackened Cajun steak, hot and fresh from the oven, and the new steak and cheese. Subway, eat steak!
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
It'll get up to 72 degrees today. There is a slight breeze out of the west. Beautiful sunny skies here in Baltimore. The head coach of the San Diego Chargers, a former NFL Coach of the Year, now in his 5th year, Marty Schottenheimer. And Brian Billick, the Super Bowl winning coach of the Baltimore Ravens, in his 8th campaign here. 6-10 a year ago. The Ravens will kick off, and that is Matt Stover, who had the game-winning kick last week in Cleveland for the Ravens. One of the best, 17 years in the National Football League, and deep back for San Diego, Michael Turner. Someday he will be a star in this league. He is only overshadowed now by LaDainian Tomlinson. He is the backup. It's the Ravens, it's the Chargers, and here we go from Baltimore. A yard deep, this is Turner. And he was tripped up on the play by DeJuan Landry. 31-yard line, a 31-yard return, which leads us to third-year quarterback Philip Rivers, the second-rated quarterback in the NFL.
Well, Kevin, it was easy for him the first couple weeks. The reality is today he's going to get his first real test against one of the league's best defenses.
Last week a bye for San Diego. 2 weeks ago they slaughtered Tennessee 40-7. First and 10. LaDainian Tomlinson, a block from Gates. Walked down 36-yard line, hit across the way. Hit Franklin and Kelly Gregg after a gain of 5 to the 36. The offensive line holds the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Month, rookie left tackle McNeil. Good solid line. Parker, McCardell, the two receivers. Tight end is Gates, Tomlinson, and Neal in the backfield on a 2nd down and 5. Manu Maliuna is in motion, the tight end, 1 of 2 for the Chargers. Tomlinson. Shoved out of bounds by Ray Lewis. The gain takes him for a first down catch and run to the. It is a first down to the 43.
Kevin, they're going with the sugar huddle. They're really trying to keep the Ravens off balance a little bit, trying to eliminate some of the substitutions and some of the blitzes that they'll probably have dialed up for Philip Rivers.
Blocked by McNeil. Rivers outside. Eric Parker out of the University of Tennessee. Brought down by Lewis. Gain to the 48. About a 9-yard gain. Very close to a first down.
Well, Kevin, there's a couple of different ways you can approach a game like this with Philip Rivers, a young quarterback. You can be conservative or you can be aggressive. And they're going to be aggressive right now with him. They're going to call plays to the line of scrimmage. They're going to try and take the fight to this Ravens defense.
Second down and 1, 48-yard line. First drive of the game. Neal. And he plows ahead for the first down into the teeth of that Baltimore defense, picking up 3 to the 45.
Well, if you're going to game plan the San Diego Chargers on a 2nd and 1 or 3rd and 1, that's about the only time Lorenzo Neal will get a carry. But he is a handful, and he's one of the best lead blockers from the fullback position in the National Football League.
They've just taken Neal out. They brought in their second tight end, Manu Maliuna.
Well, they're going to try and change personnel groupings, really force the Ravens to make some adjustments, and really try and locate some of the safeties who have a tendency to show blitz early in their schemes.
First and 10. Rivers, well over the head, uncatchable to Parker. He was covered across the way by Roll. 2nd and 10.
One of the things with Philip Rivers, we talked to Cam Cameron, they're trying to get him to slow his feet down a little bit. He has an elongated drop at times. He's a bigger guy, 6'5", and we talked to Cam Cameron yesterday. He said that's one of the problems with a big quarterback, trying to get his feet under control so he can make accurate throws.
They have taken Bannon out on the defensive line. They have brought back in Landry. 2nd down and 10, 45. Neal back in the backfield for San Diego. Vincent Jackson is a wide receiver. This is Tomlinson. No place to run, no place to hide. They had Gregg and Price and Reed on a loss of 3 back to the 48-yard line.
And that's a key today for the Ravens. If they can be successful on 1st and 10 and force some of those 2nd and longs, that's where you'll see the pressure, and that's where you'll see Ed Reed, the free safety, up around the line of scrimmage where he's most comfortable, where he can make those kind of plays.
Nada. The rookie has been taken off the defensive line. Ivy has been brought in. So 5 Baltimore defensive backs. 2 tight ends. 3rd and 13. They need the 35. Jackson is the 3rd receiver. Here comes the blitz by Ivy. The bobbling catch by Gates. He corkscrews to the 35 Close to a first down. Reed along with Lewis on the stop. And a gain of about 12 to 13 yards depending on the spot.
Well, the impressive thing when you watch Phillip Rivers, he doesn't hold the ball. He has not been sacked this year. He recognizes pressure and he gets the ball out of his hands early and he knows right where to go with it. His tight end, Antonio Gates.
That is a first down. It's at the 35. Game opening drive. LaDainian Tomlinson slowed up by Gregg and brought down on the play by Lewis, 32-yard line. Also Nada on the stop and a gain of 3.
And that's what they want to do. Obviously, they want to feature LaDainian Tomlinson, get him his carries early. But again, they want to be smart with him. They want to find other ways to get him involved in this offense. And the Chargers probably do a good job in the National Football League at using LaDainian Tomlinson in their screen games.
Does the sugar or the no huddle, as you call it, surprise you to start the game?
Well, it didn't surprise me when we talked to Cam Cameron yesterday. He said, we have a little something up our sleeve for this Ravens defense. They didn't want to be caught by surprise with all the different substitutions they were expecting from the Ravens.
Second down, short 7. 9th play of the drive. He's going deep. Wide open, he's got Malcolm Floyd for a touchdown. He beat Roll and Reed on a 31-yard strike.
Well, Kevin, both of these corners, Samari Roll and Chris McAllister, are probably two of the most aggressive corners in the league. And they will bite on pump fakes and double moves. And that's just what happened there. And that's how Phillip Rivers was able to get that one up and down. The double moves hurt the Baltimore Ravens.
A spectacular game-opening drive between these two undefeateds. The extra point is up and in by Kading. Rivers has just thrown his 3rd touchdown pass, and Malcolm Floyd has caught his first career touchdown reception.
Jalapeno or brat? Andy, jalapeno or brat?
Are you working or what?
Yeah.
Make your NFL fantasy come true and take 10 friends to the Super Bowl.
Hi, Andy.
Enter at southwest.com/Super Bowl.
Something new to crave. Presenting the all-new CR-V from Honda.
Why don't we have a wireless network like the Kumar Swamis?
Hello, neighbor.
Show-offs. Because ours is more exciting. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Which messages will I get? It's like a fun little surprise.
That last time wasn't.
Grandma's forgiven us now. Haven't you, Graham? She will.
Only one family share plan comes with America's most reliable wireless network. Join now, buy one VCast Samsung phone with a navigation system, get the second free. Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
Thousands of miles from home.
We don't have any money.
What would you do?
Flowers selling like hotcakes,
Catch an all-new Amazing Race, CBS tonight after 60 Minutes.
Tomorrow, Dave's All New with Pete Rose.
He also admits that several times he taped the game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball.
And Cecilia, the latest Survivor castaway, tomorrow.
Malcolm Floyd has spent most of the last 2 seasons on the San Diego practice squad. First touchdown reception, Rivers with a terrifically orchestrated drive. The big play, a 13-yard pass to Gates, summed up with the touchdown pass. Rivers 4 of 5 on that drive to 4 different receivers.
That was an impressive opening drive, and that's what you want to do when you're on the road in Baltimore.
The subsequent kickoff by Kading, B.J. Sands at the 5-yard line for Baltimore. He's being chased by Cromartie and brought down at the 32. Good-looking return by B.J. Sands, the #1 kickoff man in the NFL. All right, Steve McNair's got his hands full today.
La pasión por el fútbol americano comienza con los niños. El programa NFL Youth les brinda la oportunidad de aprender jugando. Un deporte al alcance de todos.
La pasión comienza contigo.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 41. Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. And by Budweiser Select, brewed longer for a bold taste that finishes clean. Expect everything.
Phillip Rivers has thrown a touchdown pass against the secondary of the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, and that no huddle really shook up that Ravens defense, Kevin. The tempo was just too much for them in that first drive.
So the first possession by McNair, 34-yard line, 1st and 10. And right to work goes Steve McNair through the hands of Clayton on the side, guarded by Drayton Florence. So here he is, Steve McNair. We said he did not have... Ogden Mulatalo and Flynn have been starters since '99. Jamal Lewis is in the backfield. He'll be back there with Justin Green, Mason, and Clayton, their wideouts, and the great receiving tight end is Todd Heap at 2nd down and 10 from the 34. Wilcox is the second tight end. Jamal Lewis. And Jamal Williams makes the stop, 36-yard line, and a meager gain of a yard. Let's talk about that #1 ranked San Diego defense. They've only played 2 games. Did not make the trip. He is not with the team. It is 3rd and 9. They need the 44. Next to receiver, Demetrius Williams. They're looking for Williams. A wide, high pass. A flag is down. The coverage on the play by Cromartie, who is the 5th defensive back on the rookie Demetrius Williams of Baltimore.
Holding. Offense number 68 is declined, brings up 4th down.
That's the ex-Steeler Kedrick Vincent. So it is 3 and out in the first possession for Baltimore.
And Kevin, Steve McNair never saw linebacker Donnie Edwards buzz out underneath that out cut, and he almost threw that to Donnie Edwards. That was a scary throw and a scary way to start the game for the Ravens.
Here's Sam Cook, who's a rookie out of Nebraska, replacing Dave Zastadil, who went as a free agent to the Cleveland Browns. Eric Parker back to the 9-yard line. Runs into his own blocker. That was Andre Roth. That threw off everybody, including the defense. And finally, Gary Stills, the ex-Chief, makes the stop. 35-yard line, a 57-yard punt, a 27-yard return. It's the Chargers on top, 9-13 first quarter.
Separate yourself from the herd. The Ridgeline, the 2006 Motor Trend Truck of the Year from Honda.
You're on a mission to get an amazing new TV this year, but you want to be absolutely sure you pick the right one. Circuit City makes it simple.
I guess you're just what I needed.
That's because we've got thousands of online customer reviews that rate the hot new stuff. And right now, get no interest for 24 months on all TVs $4.99 and up. Plus, get up to 10% off TVs, only at Circuit City.
Want a bite of my breakfast? It's a croissant sandwich.
I don't like French things.
What about the bikini?
French kisses?
That's gross.
What is French for creepy? I think it's la hythène.
No, that's my name.
Yeah, I know.
Egg, sausage, and cheese on a soft half moon of buttery goodness. Chris Sandwich from BK.
Are the women turning on the men?
All of us feel a little threatened.
Or just turning them on?
Guys, sometimes we can't control ourselves. Flirting with guys is what I do best.
And it's tough.
I felt terrible.
Times.
I'm really humble.
On the island.
I just don't feel like playing anymore. If someone doesn't want to be here, I'm not going to keep you here.
New Survivor, CBS Thursday.
Little game of cat and mouse so far as we start this second San Diego drive. A Rivers touchdown pass got him on top. Another offensive lineman, another defensive lineman, and only 3 defensive backs. On the 34, 1st and 10. Vincent Jackson, the wide receiver in motion. Tomlinson brought down on the play by Trevor Price. Loss of a yard, 33.
Well, Kevin, you couldn't ask for a better way to start the game for your young quarterback. He showed some he looked confident out there, showed some poise, and he really made some great throws. This double move to Malcolm Floyd was huge, and the impressive thing was he did a great job with his eyes holding the free safety, Ed Reed.
Bannon is the extra guy on the defensive line. There are only 3 defensive backs. They got the 4 linebackers. 2nd down, 11, 33. With 2 tight ends, Rivers. Intercepted. It's Bart Scott hurdling Parker. And the NFL's Defensive Player of the Month picks off Rivers down to the 21-yard line. A 26-yard return. And Rivers has thrown his first interception.
And Kevin, they knew exactly what they were going to get when they brought in the 2 tight ends. They knew they were going to get an extra backer and they were going to throw the football. And Phillip Rivers never sees Bart Scott. He loses him up the seam, and that's just an instinctive play by a very good player in space, Bart Scott.
Scott with his 2nd career interception. And look at the field position, 22-yard line, 1st and 10. 2 tight ends for Steve McNair. Jamal Lewis. Brought down by Edwards and tackled at about the 20 after a gain of 2 as we take our first trip to New York and James Brown.
Kevin and Rich, excellent defensive play by Robert Mathis of Indianapolis, stripping Chad Pennington of the ball. Capitalized when Dominic Rhodes bulls his way 6 yards to pay dirt. Indy on top, 7-0, that in the first. And boy, has Bart Scott capitalized on his playing opportunities. Back to Kevin and Rich.
Yeah, as he took the place of Ray Lewis, you may recall a year ago when Lewis missed the 10 games with the hamstring. 2nd down and 8. Thank you, JP, from the 20-yard line. It's Clayton dancing on the side with Drayton Florence. It's a gain of 4, and he's down to the 16-yard line.
Well, Kevin, when you watch the film of the Ravens, it's clear to see they've done a poor job offensively of taking advantage of the turnovers in the field position created by this defense. They've had 11 possessions, 0 touchdowns, and 7 field goals. They've been poor in this part of the field. That's something they need to get straightened out. They need to take advantage of these opportunities.
Wilcox, a 2nd tight end, has been brought in the game. Third down and 4 from the 16. McNair hesitated. And the pass is caught. 6-yard line, Derek Mason. He picks up 10 on 3rd and 4. It's 1st and goal to go, the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, this is what Steve McNair gives you and brings to you, the experience in the system. Just watch how long Steve McNair holds this football. And then he throws that ball before Derek Mason is eaten out of his cut. And Kevin, they have experience, they have worked together in the past, and you can see it when you watch these 2 guys get together. They have a comfort level with each other.
He beat Quentin Jammer, the corner. 1st and goal at the 7. It's Jamal Lewis. Drilled by Randall Godfrey and brought down, and he may have carved a couple yards into the heart of that defense to the 5.
You know, it was interesting when we talked to the San Diego Chargers defenders yesterday. A lot of them said Jamal Lewis, when he runs the ball, he wants to wind it back and cut it back to the left side behind Mulatalo and Ogden. They're 2 big guards and tackles. That's where they want to run the ball. And if you watch Jamal Lewis, that's what his tendency is, to wind runs back to the left-hand side.
Regular defensive personnel out there for San Diego. 2 tight ends. Heap is wide. One of the tight ends at the top of your screen. 2nd and goal at the 5. It's Wilcox. Touchdown.
well, Kevin. You can see him get more and more comfortable. The pressure comes. Steve McNair knows right exactly where to go with the ball. He finds Wilcox, his tight end, and the defender for the Chargers not able to make that tackle in the open field. But the experience of Steve McNair is paying off for the Ravens.
Extra point by Matt Stover. We're tied. Touchdown pass by Rivers, and moments ago a touchdown pass by McNair as Baltimore cashes in on the interception.
Who's faster, Sprint mobile broadband or Singular's Edge? Sprint mobile broadband gives you the power to download 5 times faster than Singular's Edge. Work faster with Sprint mobile broadband. Get a free mobile broadband card. Visit sprint.com/mobile broadband.
Introducing the new Sicilian lasagna pizza from Pizza Hut. Hearty beef topping and a blend of mozzarella, creamy ricotta, and Parmesan cheese, all on a seasoned crust. It's just $10.99. Right now for just $5 more at any medium one-topping pizza.
Life is full of ifs. If in the blink of an eye, my 6-year-old has turned 16. If my family's future means the world to me. Choosing the right life insurance to protect life's ifs doesn't have to be as complicated or as costly as you think. MetLife is the largest provider of life insurance in the U.S. We help you create your personal safety net by listening to your needs, filling in gaps, and building on what you already have to help you prepare for life's many ifs. After all, we're MetLife.
Calf-like reflexes, the Fit, new from Honda, the Fit is go.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by IBM. What makes you special? And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade, it's in the NFL. Is it in you?
Bart Scott picked off Rivers, which set up outstanding field position, and then Wilcox hauled in his second touchdown reception of the season. He is the number 2 tight end. 7-7. How about this? The top 2 defenses in the NFL have been scored on in the first quarter.
And it's going to be a slugfest the rest of the way, Kevin. That's just the way this game is going to play out.
Stover with the kickoff. Turner from the 5 for the Chargers. And he was brought down across the way by Evan Oglesby. Last time out, Rivers threw a pick. 5:21 to play in the first quarter.
Rock and roll, give me rock and roll in stereo.
Super tail action, the Fit, new from Honda, the Fit is go.
Introducing the rebirth of cool. Gatorade Rain. Start crisp, finish clean. Stay cool in the heat. Gatorade Rain.
Donovan McNabb is driven, motivated, hungry.
Hungry enough for Campbell's chunky New England clam chowder.
Feed your NFL-sized hunger. Campbell's Chunky. Meals that fill you up right.
Part of being a CSI is learning to work in the absence of absolute certainty. There is no such thing as an insignificant detail. Don't just look for what you think you're going to find. Questions?
How do you deal with the smell?
You get used to it.
Why do you do it?
Because the dead can't speak for themselves.
The NFL and television go back nearly 70 years. This season, NFL Network invites you to a new football tradition.
With a telecast you'd expect from NFL Network, made by football people, for football people. Great matchups on the run to the playoffs. Join us for a new football tradition.
It all begins this fall, only on NFL Network.
Phillip Rivers has thrown a 31-yard touchdown pass Steve McNair has thrown a 5-yard touchdown pass. Last time out, Rivers threw a pick. Third San Diego possession from the 38-yard line. This is Tomlinson dancing his way and brought down by Bart Scott, who had the interception, gain to the 43 and a pickup of 5. This week on NFL.com, Shannon Sharp talks about the tight races in all the divisions and how no team is running away with it this year. NFL.com, 2nd down and 5.
Well, Kevin, you're going to find out today about your young quarterback, Philip Rivers, and how he's able to handle adversity. You know, through that interception, it's how you're able to come back and how you're able to get yourself back in a rhythm that's really going to define what kind of player you are in this league.
How about Baltimore? 4 down linemen, 4 linebackers, 3 in the secondary, 2nd down and 5. It's Parker trying to exploit the lack of anybody deep. 46-yard line, pickup of 11. 1st down, Lewis on the tackle.
Again, you're going to see a little bit of a chess match. They're trying to move personnel groupings around, try and get the matchups that they're looking for offensively, the Chargers. And the impressive thing about Philip Rivers is he hasn't played in a lot of games, but he has done a good job understanding what they're asking of him in the system, and he's not turned the football over prior to that interception earlier today.
Bannon is the extra defensive lineman. There are 2 tight ends, including Manu Maliuna. 1st down, 46. Rivers, Gates. Nice catch made, 42-yard line, and the 2-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Ray Lewis there with the gain of 5.
Well, Kevin, you're seeing a lot of this 2 tight end personnel grouping, and one of the reasons is that they want to be protection conscious early. They want to get Philip Rivers comfortable. They don't want to get him banged around a lot, and they feel by getting some of their heavier sets, it will eliminate some of the pressure packages from the Ravens.
Still the 4-4-3 defense for Baltimore. 2nd down, long 5, 42-yard line. Extra receiver, Vincent Jackson. Look at the time. This is the 6'5 Jackson. Brought down, close to a 1st down, hit across the way by Suggs. It's a gain of 5. Markham at the 40, make it the 35-yard line.
Well, you just get the sense today when you watch the receivers from the Chargers, there's going to be a lot of double moves. They're going to try and attack this Ravens secondary. But Philip Rivers was actually working to his right with a double move and came back left to the hitch where he knew he had his outlet.
No changes on defense. 1st down. Parker and Jackson, the receivers, to the bottom of your screen. Tomlinson. Oh, great block by Goff. The gain to the 27-yard line. Ed Reed makes the stop. Gain of 8 by LaDainian Tomlinson.
And what'll happen, Kevin, if you sense the blitz and you can block up the blitz, especially in the running game, there's some big creases. And Lorenzo Neal made a great block on Ray Lewis there, and it really sprung LaDainian Tomlinson.
2nd down and 2, 27-yard line. Lorenzo Neal brought down by Bannon, has a 1st down, 24-yard line, and a gain of 3. Let's go to New York and James Brown.
Kevin and Rich, how glad do you think the Panthers are to have Steve Smith back in the lineup? Capping an 8-play, 72-yard drive, a little slant pattern there to Steve Smith. 7-0 Panthers on top. 1st touchdown of the season for young Mr. Smith. Back to Kevin and Rich.
Carolina beat Tampa Bay by 2 points last week. Thank you, JB. 1st down, 24-yard line. With a long drive by the Chargers, it started back at their 38. 2 tight ends. Rivers. Manu Maliuna, the ex-Ram. Hit on the play by a Davis Thomas. It's a gain of 5. He takes it to the 19-yard line. Rivers on this drive, 4 of 4.
Well, the Chargers are sharp. One of the things that this no huddle is allowing them to do as well, they realize that Rex Ryan and this Ravens defense, they want to roll in their defensive line. They want to roll those guys in and out and keep them fresh. This doesn't allow them to make as many changes, and it forces those guys to play more plays than they want to play early.
2nd and 5, both tight ends wide at the bottom of your screen. Only 3, now make it 4 in the secondary. They've made the change. Roll back in. Tomlinson. Hit by Nada, the rookie, and a gain of 4 down to the 15-yard line. It's been a nice balance by Cam Cameron, the offensive coordinator for San Diego on this drive.
They've really done a nice job. They've done a particularly nice job, Kevin, on first down, mixing the run and pass, and it's allowed them to have some shorter numbers on third down. 4 runs and 4 passes to start the game for the Chargers.
That takes us to the conclusion of the first quarter. 2 unbeaten teams, 2 teams in first place. Rivers has thrown a touchdown pass. McNair has thrown a touchdown pass. We'll return to Baltimore after this. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Hey, nice job. That was huge.
You could say food's my life. I watch my diet. Still, my cholesterol's a little higher than my doctor and I want it to be. We talked about statins, which are a good option. For me, he chose a medicine that helps lower cholesterol differently. Zetia.
Most cholesterol medicines work mainly with the liver. Zetia works in the digestive tract, as do some other medicines, but Zetia is unique in the way it helps block the absorption of cholesterol that comes from food.
And Zetia, along with a healthy diet, lowered bad cholesterol by as much as 30 points. That's 18%. It complements what I've been doing lately, like eating healthy and exercising.
Zetia may not be right for people who have ever had liver problems, are nursing or pregnant, or may become pregnant. Your doctor will decide if Zetia is right for you. Unexplained muscle pain or weakness could be a sign of a rare but serious side effect and should be reported to a doctor right away. Common side effects included tiredness and stomach pain.
So eat healthy and ask your doctor if Zetia is right for you. Now you can tell everybody that a waitress gave you a tip.
Zetia. It's a different way to help fight cholesterol.
Let's say I retire at 64.
At 60.
58.
Let's say I leave my job in 5 years and start teaching.
We help the kids buy their first house.
Let's say healthcare costs double. We hold off tapping into our 401k. What would that look like?
Welcome to Envision with Wachovia Securities, a way of working with our financial advisors that starts with your life and plans your money around it. Are you with Wachovia?
Congratulations, your own team.
Grab your gear, we're heading out.
She was profiling men.
To find a husband.
Looks like she found herself a psycho.
Speed dating?
Video surveillance glasses.
Oh! Remove your hand or I will rip your arm off and beat you to death with it.
New NCIS, CBS Tuesday.
We start the second quarter with the 2 undefeated teams, Baltimore and San Diego. It is a 3rd and 2. Rivers has gone 8 of 10. He has thrown an interception and he has thrown a touchdown. There are 3 defensive backs. There are 4 linebackers and 4 defensive linemen for Baltimore. Rivers to the end zone and incomplete, looking for Gates and covered by the former NFL Defensive Player of the Year, the safety Ed Reed.
And double moves are what they're going to try, and doesn't make a difference if it's with the receiver or Antonio Gates, a tight end who's like a receiver, tried to double move Ed Reed, and he didn't bite on it. It's a nice job by Ed Reed. Great recovery, gets back in position to make a play on this ball. It's a nice job by Ed Reed.
So the Baltimore Ravens keep San Diego out of the end zone, relegate him to a 3-point try. Here is a 34-yard try. Nate Kading, who hasn't missed inside 40 since his rookie year, and stays good and gives San Diego a 3-point lead. Another lead change. The Chargers on top. Rivers took him in for 3.
Morning.
Hey.
That'll be $20.
I'd like to pay for a couple of his shirts, too. And can you give me my card, please?
Sure.
Bold moves. They happen every day.
Endless Shrimp is back at Red Lobster. Treat yourself to endless amounts of 5 irresistible shrimp favorites, like decadent scampi, freshly hand-breaded fried shrimp, and creamy shrimp pasta. For limited time, only at Red Lobster.
I changed my oil. Why worry about engine sludge?
You can't see sludge coming, but it can rob gas mileage and hold your car back.
Yeah, right.
Castrol GTX has an improved formula to stop sludge in its tracks.
Give me a burger, fries.
GTX's new dispersants neutralize sludge for superior protection among leading 5W and 10W 30s.
And some extra napkins.
Castrol GTX. It's more than just oil. It's liquid engineering.
I was looking for a smarter way to migrate from Unix to Linux. Fortunately, I get advice from a partner who does it every day.
We're looking for 2 of our own, 1 alive, 1 not.
Every mission has one rule.
We can't leave Billy out there. Don't intend to.
No man left behind.
You gotta haul him in. We got company. They set the trap.
Both quarterbacks have thrown touchdown passes today. Moments ago, 34-yard field goal by Kading. He just signed a new contract extension this week. 10-7 San Diego. B.J. Sands is deep back, the #1 kickoff return man in the NFL. Good hang time from the 5-yard line is Sands. Tripped up on the play by Steve Gregory, who was just signed off the practice squad. 14-yard return, flag on the field. Flag is down.
Offside. Kicking team number 28. The 5-yard penalty is set on the kick, and real kicks from the 25-yard line.
Well, tomorrow on CBS, Miami's never been more dangerous. Catch a new CSI Miami tomorrow at 10, 9 Central on CBS. Again this season, America's most watched network. Great shots today high above the stadium here in downtown Baltimore, brought to you by the MetLife Blimp. Snoopy won. Look for the MetLife Blimps as they team up with CBS Sports for more coverage this fall. Well, we just had our first penalty of the game. When you think, you know, we talked about Rivers, and you say, how would he handle adversity? Well, I think he handled it pretty well after throwing the interception the drive before. They're taking him in for 3.
Yeah, you want to see how your young quarterback is going to respond on the road against a good defense. He showed a lot of poise there. He's a very confident player. He seems like it's not too big for him, and he looked really sharp on that last drive.
So Kading will move back 5 yards because of the offsides penalty to the 25. Wind is at his back. From the 2-yard line, B.J. Sands. The semi-good has him and rides him down. There's another flag. Did he get him around the collar? 27-yard return.
You know, Kevin, the interesting thing there, a lot of teams would have taken the penalty, but Brian Billick has such confidence in his return guy, B.J. Sands. He wants to give him another look, another opportunity to return one.
Mike Carey, who lives in San Diego, is our official today, our referee.
During the return, personal foul, major face mask, kicking team number 54. Foul will be sent at the end of the run, 15 yards, first down.
That's Stephen Cooper, a reserve linebacker for the San Diego Chargers. And now for the second consecutive possession, look at the great beginning field position for Steve McNair.
You'll see the penalty right there. And well, we missed the end of it, but again, field position is going to be so critical in a game like this with such good defenses. You just can't afford to give an offense like the Ravens, who are still struggling a little bit right now, to kind of find their way a short field like this.
So it's like they pick up 27 yards and they're out to the 46-yard line from one kickoff to the next, plus 27. First and 10 from the 46. Baltimore's third possession today. Jamal Lewis knocked in a block. And finally brought down by Randall Godfrey, dragging him out of bounds. Gain of 5, 50-yard line as we take you to New York and James Brown.
All right, Kevin, a milestone for quarterback Drew Bledsoe of the Cowboys with this touchdown toss here, 13 yards to Terry Glenn. He is now 13th all-time in TD passes, surpassing our Boomer Esiason. 7-3. Cowboys on top of Tennessee in the second. Back to Kevin and Rich.
Thank you, JB. Remember in that bye week, Glenn cut his hand as he was cutting some tape off an ankle, but makes a catch right there. Second down and 5 from the 49. Lewis, Rams head, into Jamal Williams. Gain of 1, 48-yard line. What's your impression of Jamal Lewis and what he's been doing?
Well, he's doing a nice job. Right here, he doesn't have much of a chance. You know, they don't pick up Marlon McCree, the free safety off the edge, and that's something that Steve McNair is going to have to keep an eye on, especially on the early downs. Marlon McCree, the San Diego Chargers, will sneak up around that line of scrimmage. It's more of a run blitz stop for them.
Andre Lott is the extra defensive back, so they got 5 in the secondary for San Diego. 3rd and 4, they need the 44. Musa Smith in the backfield with McNair. That's caught. Demetrius Williams. Jammer with the coverage and the tackle. First down, 43-yard line, gain of 6.
Well, that's a great throw by Steve McNair. He puts it really the only place he can throw it, low and away, and gives Demetrius Williams a chance to make that catch. If he throws that on his back shoulder at all, the defender will definitely knock that one down. Just a great throw by Steve McNair.
Now San Diego goes back to basic defensive personnel with 1st and 10, 43-yard line.
Kevin, they had some problems last week with their formations. A little bit of confusion. Steve McNair getting those plays in from the sidelines.
Smith in the backfield. End around to Clayton. Smith with the block. Wilcox with the block. Trenton Florence with the tackle. Back at the 46 and a loss of 3.
And Kevin, I got to tell you, we watched them run that play in practice and rep it a couple times, and I have to tell you, I wasn't crazy about it when I saw it in practice, and you look at the results there, just not very good. Against the 34 defense, with both of those linebackers on the end on the line of scrimmage, it's very difficult to get good angles in those blocks, and they didn't have any success right there running that around.
Starting defense remains on the field for the Chargers. 2nd down, 12. Lewis, Justin Green back in the game in the backfield. There's a slow play. Fumbled by McNair and gobbled up by John Ogden at the 49. That is a sack by the San Diego Chargers. A loss of 4 back to the 49.
Kevin, you said a slow play. I think there was a problem with the snap and the cadence. I think that the center snapped the ball. The offensive line wasn't expecting it. And now Steve McNair is stuck back in the pocket. The rush is upfield, and that ball comes out of his hand. You can watch Pasho's the tackle, Jonathan Ogden. They're still in their stance, and the Chargers are up the field in their rush.
5 in the secondary. They bring in Cromartie. Nothing to heap so far. Mike Anderson in the backfield with McNair. 3rd and 16. They need the 34. Here comes Castillo. Incomplete pass. Castillo got right up in the grill of McNair, and they got to punt the ball.
That's a good job by Sean Phillips staying at home. He had Mike Anderson in coverage. He had his eyes on him all the way, and really Steve McNair had nowhere to go. But the difference in that drive, the confusion on 2nd down, and then on 3rd down, snapping the ball, they had absolutely no chance.
Parker is back awaiting the rookie Cook's punt. Almost blocked. McCree got in there. Great hang time. And takes a great bounce for Baltimore. Down by still at the 5. Here is a punter, a rookie from Nebraska. He wasn't even invited to camp. With a great play there. 11:02 to play in the 2nd.
Ford Super Duty, the most capable pickup in America. Bold moves, they happen every day.
Hey, Teddy, I hate to bother you. You sent my melon to Peyton, P-E-Y.
Groceries, $41.
That's awesome, man. Charlie!
Oil change, $25.
You're good, too. Decaf!
Lunch,
Decaf!
$12.
Great shift today, guys. Nice salad bar.
Your favorite players,
yes,
priceless.
Yes! Yes!
There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
You signed the bread to my little brother. He loves you.
Oh, Hoodie, monument to the durable. Fast friend, uncomplaining sucker of sweat. In our most trying times, you still tried. When other garments stopped at the neck, you said, oh no, The head needs a garage. Our arms would pull off well before yours, yet this is how we treat you.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Ford. Bold moves, they happen every day. Dell, it's much more than technology. It's a Dell. And by Subway. Yummylicious sandwiches on freshly baked bread. Subway, eat fresh.
Each quarterback has thrown a touchdown pass today after the great rookie punter for Baltimore kick. They strand Rivers at the 5, marooned there, first down and 10. Tomlinson dances way into the grasp of Ray Lewis on a gain of 3 out to the 8-yard line.
And what they'll do a lot when you watch the Chargers offensively, they'll bring a receiver back behind the formation, and what that really will do will help them in terms of their blocking scheme on the backside and free up some extra holes and some extra space up inside for LaDainian Tomlinson.
Suggs is out. Jarrett Johnson is in. There are 4 defensive backs for the Ravens. Second down and 7. 2 tight ends for Rivers. Franklin is on the defensive line. Here comes Johnson. There goes Rivers. Pass is caught right in front of Samari Roll. It's a grab by Parker. It's a gain on the play of 7 yards and a first down to the 15.
Kevin, this is not good for the Baltimore Ravens. If they can't make their substitutions and dial up their blitzes, then a lot of their effectiveness is taken away. They want to get after and pressure Phillip Rivers. He has too much time. You look at the off coverage here, it's just too easy for him. You give him too much time. They're not getting it. They're not making him play the game. They're not heating him up as we talked about earlier.
First and 10. Nothing to McCardle yet. Except that fake handoff. This is Tomlinson, who is brought down by the rookie Landry. Gain of 2, 17-yard line. Back to JB in our studios in New York.
Hey, Kevin, 13 is the number for Terry Glenn. Take a look here. Drew Bledsoe, back of the end zone, hooking up with Terry Glenn. Second touchdown reception of the day. 6 plays, 40 yards, 14-3. Cowboys on top in the second. Back to Kevin and Rich.
And you know what, JB beat Pac-Man Jones, who was moved last week from right cornerback to left cornerback. Second down and 8. It's Tomlinson again. Right, Franklin got a left paw on him. Gain of 4. He's out to the 21-yard line. Let's go back to New York and JB.
Hey, Kevin, take a look. Hard count here by Chad Pennington of the Jets. Pulls the Coats offside. He stays with it. Play action. Hooking up with Jericho Cotchery. Great second effort. Good determination here by Cotchery. Stiff arms it. Boy, they're looking good. Let's kick it back to Kevin and Rich.
How about the Jets, JB? They are tied with New England for first place right now in the AFC East. Here's a 3rd and 4. Look how deep the secondary is for Baltimore. Vincent Jackson is a 3rd receiver for Rivers. Tomlinson brought down by Trevor Price, who has found new life here in Baltimore. Ray Lewis helping as well. It's a gain of 2. It's 4th and 2, and San Diego has got to punt the ball.
One of the things you'll see more of today is Phillip Rivers under center on 3rd down. There's a number of reasons for that. Obviously, the crowd noise is an issue, but the other thing is they want Nick Hardwick, the center, to be able to have his head up to make all the protection calls on 3rd down. The Ravens move around so much on 3rd down, they think it's important for Hardwick to have his head up, be able to make all the adjustments and the changes at the line of scrimmage. B.J. Sanders is deep back for Mike Cyphers, who had the fewest punts returned last year in the NFL. This will die at about the 30, make it the 29-yard line. 47-yard punt. So now McNair with the touchdown pass in his pocket and 7:21 to play in the first half.
Coach, what do you know about this new Coors Light Silver Ticket promotion?
Excuse me, repeat that again?
Coors Light is giving away NFL tickets.
They do things that you don't see every day.
But Coach, what's the point of the Silver Ticket promotion?
It's all about winning.
Look for the official entry code inside specially marked packages of Coors and Coors Light for your chance to win NFL tickets, even Super Bowl tickets, and more.
Coach, I am freaking out about this silver ticket promotion.
You have to learn to handle it, okay? You have to learn to handle your own intensity.
So I get football 24/7 with Dish Network.
24/7. Come on, man, you gotta feel it.
I feel it. No, you have got to feel it. All right.
You're getting games every night of the week.
Okay.
It's about half the price of digital cable.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, wait a minute. Let's get the lawnmower.
Get football 24/7 and games every night of the week. Just $24.99 a month for 10 months. Dish Network. Better TV for all.
Rick Wilcoxon is a real Geico customer, not an actor. So to help tell his story, we hired an actor.
Originally, I switched to Geico to save money, but then I was in an accident.
Yeah, that's right. I was in an accident.
I got on the phone and called Geico.
Yeah. Hello. Hey, how's it going?
After a few days, I had my repair check. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I got the check. Got my car fixed. It's my birthday. Fixed my bumper. New taillights.
Geico. Real service, real savings.
It's my birthday.
The only cure for a natural disaster is a human response. Help the NFL and United Way rebuild communities. Find out how at unitedway.org.
Thousands of miles from home.
We don't have any money.
What would you do?
Flowers selling like hotcakes, yeah.
Catch an all-new Amazing Race, CBS tonight after 60 minutes.
7:21 before the half. McNair's done a touchdown pass. He's also had to punt it twice. Fourth possession for Baltimore, 29-yard line. 1st and 10. Keep one of two tight ends. He's going deep and no one home, and it's intercepted by Jammer. He got one the other day, and he's got one now. Brought down by Wilcox. Where in the world was McNair going? Now the turnover's even at one apiece. Both quarterbacks have thrown a touchdown pass. Both quarterbacks have thrown a pick. Chargers will get it back.
You think you got game machine? All right, let's see what you got.
Come on, breathe. Come on, breathe. Pick him up, pick him up.
Live NFL. Drink Diet Pepsi.
I can do this all day, baby.
Breathe in, breathe out. Restless, waiting for anything. So come on, come on, come on now. Let's go, let's jump right in, screaming to the wind, feed the fire within. I can't ignore this burning in my soul. Come on, baby, let's go.
There's a car company for people like that. Ford. Bold moves. Found it under the bed.
That, by the way, not mine.
Did you want it?
No.
I had such a nice time tonight.
Lena?
Waiting naked in a girl's bed wearing whipped cream undies does not work. Usually.
Does anyone in here?
Yeah, hey, Robin.
You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 41. The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon Wireless and by Rocky Mountain Refreshing Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Well, we're still finding out about Steve McNair and his comfort level with this system. And you go back and watch that play, you'll see Mason, he comes down, he's going to run a deep in route, and Steve McNair just thinks he's going on a go route, and he throws it up, and that play has absolutely no chance.
With two tight ends, 1st and 10, 40-yard line. Tomlinson slithers his way for 5 out to the 45-yard line and brought down by Ray Lewis.
And, you know, it's interesting, we talked with Marty Schottenheimer yesterday. He said it's going to be the easiest game to evaluate in terms of how the outcome of the game will be determined. And He said taking care of the football and winning the battle of field position is going to be the difference in this game. And Kevin, so far, the field position and the turnovers have been the difference.
Basic defense for the Baltimore Ravens, 2nd down and 5. Interception moments ago by Jenner gave the Chargers the ball back. Tomlinson again. Hit by Kelly Gregg, 49-yard line, and a gain of about 4, close to a first down.
Well, it's impressive to see Phillip Rivers work and handle this offense and make the calls at the line of scrimmage and handle this hurry-up, no-huddle offense. The tempo has been great. The communication's been good. And they haven't had any bobbles in terms of the cadence or penalties. It's been a nice job by Phillip Rivers.
They've taken out a defensive back, so 3 in the secondary, 4 linebackers, 4 defensive linemen, 3rd and 1. It's a lateral, and it goes out to Tomlinson, brought down. Ray Lewis and Bart Scott back 3 yards to the 46, and San Diego can't cash in on the interception.
Boy, that was an ugly-looking play. And you got Lorenzo Neal sitting there. Why not just give him the ball in that situation, 3rd and 1? That's what he does. That's why you're paying Lorenzo Neal. Instead, you flip the ball, you throw the ball back to LT in space, and that's just not a good design play by the Chargers.
Cyphers to punt again, 2nd consecutive San Diego punt. Each quarterback has thrown a touchdown pass. Each quarterback has thrown a pick. Flag is down. Ball went in the end zone. 54-yard boot. And we're waiting on the call on the flag.
There's going to be a couple calls here, Kevin. I believe they're going to get Osgood for a personal foul as well for the Chargers late.
Illegal block in the back. On the receiving team, number 42. The ball was a touchback. The ball was spotted at the 10-yard line. They retained possession, first down.
42 is Jerome Sapp, special teams player.
Well, Osgood got a break there. He actually had a late block and got away with it.
Every penalty in this game so far has been a special teams penalty. Ball will be at the 10-yard line, 1st and 10 for McNair. I would imagine being in one system as long as he was at Tennessee, a brand new language here in Baltimore.
Yeah, and this is his 3rd offensive coordinator's 3rd system in 3 years, and there's going to be an adjustment period. And I think it's not automatic for him yet. He's still thinking about things at the line of scrimmage.
1st and 10. Haley is in. Jamal Williams with the carry. 13-yard line, gain of 4.
The interesting thing is you can't play the game like that at the line of scrimmage. You have to be reacting rather than thinking. And, Brian Billick, when we talked to him this week, he said, hey, we're insisting that Steve McNair have more input in the offense. We want him to have an opinion about what he likes, where his comfort level is. They really think that that's going to help him adjust quicker and be more efficient in this offense.
Jacques Césaire is on the defensive line for San Diego. 2nd down and 6. With 2 tight ends, Steve McNair. Well, that anticipation level, that's incomplete. Looking for Wilcox, who is covered by Merriman. That's something you noticed on tape. Is the double hitch.
Yeah, he sometimes he's late. He's got his eyes were actually to the left. He was looking for some routes over there. He's late coming back, finding his outlets, and he doesn't look completely comfortable. The more time you're in a system, that becomes second nature. You know exactly where your outlets are. You know exactly where your checkdowns are, and you know how to get the ball out of your hands quickly. He looks to me like he's still out there thinking about a lot of these things.
5 in the secondary. They bring in Antonio Cromartie, 3rd and 6. Bruce Smith with the block. That is caught by Mason. Out to the 27-yard line. Gain of 13 on the play. Flag is down back at the 11-yard line.
It's interesting when you watch Steve McNair, he looks most comfortable throwing the ball to Derek Mason. That shouldn't come as any surprise. They worked together for a number of years in Tennessee, but Mason does a nice job.
Penalty was on Baltimore. Now it's 3rd down and 11 as John Ogden was called and pleads his case. legal formation. He said he was bowing too much, and you saw that on tape this week.
Yeah, a lot of these tackles now, they want to cheat. They want to get as much depth that they can at the line of scrimmage in their stance to kind of give them a better angle, especially against some of these speed rushers that the Chargers feature on the edge.
Nothing to heap. Still 5 in the secondary for San Diego.
And you look at this graphic, the Chargers have been the best defense in football in terms of third down. Teams have had to go 10 yards or more to convert third downs. That's very difficult in the National Football League.
They need the 20. 3rd and 11 for McNair. Good block by Paschas. It's off to Musa Smith. Gobbled up by Drayton Florence. Gain of 1. They got to punt the ball.
And Kevin, that's a tough way to make a living. You convert a third down, you have a penalty, and now you get backed up again. You're not going to get that many opportunities. This is too good of a defense to put yourself in these situations. McNair does a nice job getting rid of it there.
Sam Cook to punt. Special teams coach is Frank Gantz Jr. His dad, Frank Gantz Sr., has worked with this kid a little bit, helping him on form. Frank Gantz Sr., former head coach in the NFL. 44-yard line. Prude with the coverage for the Baltimore Ravens. A well-hanging 47-yard punt. Next Saturday, the Home Depot SEC on CBS puts on a double feature. Razorbacks of Arkansas take on the Auburn Tigers. Then the Bayou Bengals battle the Florida Gators. That's next week on CBS, America's most watched network. Sprint halftime coming up from New York with JB and the gang, scores in a busy week 4 in the NFL. The Sprint halftime report comes up next from CBS with Pro Bowl quarterback Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan. Both quarterbacks have thrown interceptions. Both quarterbacks have thrown touchdown passes. San Diego with their 6th possession today, 1st and 10. Michael Turner, first time. Look at him, boom, he's free, and there he goes. Down the sideline, shoved out of bounds by a Dallas Thomas. 37-yard line and a gallop of 19 yards.
And you can't forget about Michael Turner and the impact he's had on this offense. He's averaging 7.6 yards a carry, but he could start for a lot of other teams. He's a great runner, and actually they had both of them on the field at the same time. LaDainian Tomlinson motioned out, and now you leave Michael Turner in the backfield alone. That's a nice 1-2 punch for the Chargers.
Baltimore does have their 4 defensive backs in their 1st and 10. Turner again. He's averaging over 7 yards a carry. Ray Lewis brings him down 33, pick up a 4.
And it was interesting sitting down with Cam Cameron yesterday. I really enjoyed our visit with him. He said, if I have to, I'll run the ball every down. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. We'll do whatever it takes to win football games. But if it means running the football every down, our guys up front, our offense knows that's what we'll do.
They've taken out a wide receiver. They've brought in a tight end to look at Cameron, the former head coach at the University of Indiana. Long-time associate with Marty Schottenheimer. 2nd down and 6. Tomlinson is a slot receiver. With 2 tight ends, Turner. By Bart Scott. Around the waist, 31-yard line. The gain, a 3-yard pickup. When Phillip Rivers breaks the huddle, it really makes things very interesting, and we'll talk about that when we come back at the 2-minute warning here in Baltimore.
Coach, have you seen this Coors Light Gridiron cooler box? All you gotta do is add ice. Pretty good, huh?
Brilliant, not just good, brilliant.
Coach, how many players would you trade for a cooler box?
9 of them. Both tackles, tight end, 1 guard, quarterback, running back, both receivers, and then a backup guy.
The Coors Light Gridiron Cooler Box. A case of go-anywhere plastic bottles and a ready-made cooler. Coach, I'm thinking of coming to training camp next year.
You're spinning your wheels. Don't make the trip.
With more trucks on the road with 250,000 miles than any other brand, there's nothing tougher than Ford F-Series.
Hey, Jack. Dad? It looks like my old truck. Well, now it's your new truck.
Bold moves. They happen every day.
Good news, no more hassles with Wi-Fi hotspots. We're upgrading to Verizon Wireless so you can work where you need to.
Bus in Boston?
Yes.
Car wash in Columbus?
Sure.
Mall in Memphis?
Yeah.
Rest stop in Raleigh?
Okay.
Found a hot tub in Vegas, baby! Oh, yeah! Vegas, baby!
Well, can we?
Absolutely.
See you in Vegas.
Only one network gives you the broadband access card with America's most reliable wireless broadband network, Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
Vegas, baby!
FedEx presents the Air and Ground NFL Players of Week 3. Mark Brunell completed 22 straight passes. Donovan McNabb threw for 296 yards. But with 340 yards, the winning quarterback from Week 3 was Brett Favre. Tatum Bell rushed for 123 yards. Willie Parker ran for 133. But Brian Westbrook was last week's winning running back with 164 total yards. Vote for the FedEx Air and Ground NFL Players of the Week at FedExFootball.com.
Tonight on a new cold case, a soldier survived the war in Iraq, but her homecoming was murder.
I thought it was going to be the start of a new life.
Instead, it was the end.
Then, on Without a Trace, it's a case so hot, it will break all the rules.
You ready for this?
New episodes of Race, Case, and Trace, CBS tonight.
Kevin, you wonder what Phillip Rivers is reading at the line of scrimmage. And, Cam Cameron said sometimes reading coverage is overrated, especially against this defense. They move around so much. What they're telling him to do is just stick with his progressions. Don't get so caught up on what the Ravens are doing defensively.
5 in the secondary, 3rd down and 4 from the 31. Blow it dead. Blow it dead.
Ball start. Offense number 86. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
That's the second tight end, Brendan Maliuna.
Well, the Ravens are so good on 3rd down because they feature so many different packages and so many different blitzes. And it's very difficult for the quarterback and for the offensive line in terms of their protections and the declarations because of so much movement. And that's really one of the reasons why the Chargers have stayed out of the huddle on 3rd down. They want to get up the line of scrimmage and really simplify things defensively. Keep the Ravens out of all those different looks defensively.
How about Baltimore? We've seen 3 defensive backs, 4 defensive backs. Now they got 5 in the secondary.
They have a number of packages, and a lot of them feature pressure, and I would expect it right here.
It's 3rd and 9. They need the 27. Here comes Lewis. Incomplete to Tomlinson, guarded by Scott, but make no mistake about it, Ray Lewis caught the attention of Rivers.
Well, you get in 3rd and long situations against the Ravens, you just know the pressure is coming, and you can't hold the ball against this defense. Charlie Fry tried to do it last week. He got sacked 7 times. Good job by Phillip Rivers, realizing the pressure was coming to his right. He holds it, drifts away, and gets rid of it, and doesn't take the sack.
Now, San Diego's going to try for 3 in pregame warm-ups. Kading was hitting 57-yard field goals. At this end, he had the wind at his back. This is a 54-yard try. It is good. Kading puts it in. That is a career-long, a 54-yard boot. One of the highest-paid kickers in the NFL puts the Chargers on top, 13-7.
This hurts more than shopping for auto insurance.
Suck it up, champ. Esurance takes the pain out of it.
What? I need collision coverage now.
With some of the fastest quotes on the web, Esurance makes it easy to save on auto insurance.
That's why thousands of drivers switch to Esurance every week.
Esurance has got you covered in every season.
Quote by
Touchdown! If you're on the go, you've got to have Esurance.
Get your fast, free auto insurance quote. Visit Esurance.com today.
Well, although Rivers threw an incompletion, it was a smart play nonetheless.
That's a mature play by a young quarterback. If he doesn't throw that ball away there, they have no opportunity to even line up for a field goal. Smart play by Phillip Rivers.
Kading good from 54 and from 34 earlier. Rivers has thrown a touchdown. He has thrown a pick. McNair has thrown an interception. McNair has thrown a touchdown pass. This game is living up to the hype, especially
Kevin, this is a fun
defense.
game to call. I mean, I'm so excited up in the booth, I can't control my emotions. This is a great game. 2 good defenses laying it on the line.
I know. I can
I'll
feel
stop
it.
hitting you.
Here's the subsequent kickoff by Kading. Sams with the wind at the bat. Kading sends him 8 yards deep. And so Steve McNair will have 3 timeouts. He'll begin at his 20 with 1:51 to play in the first half.
Well, Kevin, that 2-minute drive last week that Steve McNair and the Ravens engineered against the Cleveland Browns was huge. You know, Brian Billick said We saw it from Steve time and time again when he was with Tennessee, and now we got a chance to experience it firsthand. He said that was so important for the development and confidence of our football team, especially our defensive team. We needed that, and Steve McNair came through in the clutch.
5 in the secondary for San Diego. 1st and 10 for Baltimore. Again, 3 timeouts remaining, 20-yard line. Musa Smith. He's brought down by Lott as he twists his way to the 28 and picks up 8 yards on the play. Tonight on CBS, an episode of Without a Trace that breaks all the rules. Right after Cold Case tonight, 10/9 Central on CBS. America's most watched network as Musa Smith comes out. Jamal Lewis is brought back in. 2nd long 1. Merriman is in the 3-point stance, the linebacker. Lewis. Brought down by Lott. Gain of 4, 33-yard line. Timeout, Baltimore. They burned their first.
Well, the fans weren't happy with that call in that situation.
So McNair will go to the sideline and visit with Jim Fossil, the offensive coordinator.
Let's say I retire at 64.
At 60.
58.
Let's say I leave my job in 5 years and start teaching.
We help the kids buy their first house.
Let's say healthcare costs double. We hold off tapping into our 401k. What would that look like?
Welcome to Envision with Wachovia Securities, a way of working with our financial advisors that starts with your life and plans your money around it. Are you with Wachovia?
McNair was a late signing, so when all the other players were kind of leaving after the OTAs, the coaching staff stayed around to kind of teach McNair the offense.
Yeah, an interesting story. Jim Fossil was going to borrow Brian Billick's boat and go on a vacation. He knew that this was going to happen, that Steve McNair was going to come over, and he had to cancel that vacation, but I think he's happy that he's done that. Steve McNair has been a big difference maker for them so far this season.
1st and 10, 33-yard line, 2 timeouts remain. Mike Anderson in the backfield. That ball was deflected, and that's the first pass attempted for Heap. Dropped. The coverage by Donnie Edwards on the play. Edwards, one of the better cover linebackers in the league.
Well, he's great in space, and you watch him. He's rated the #1 cover linebacker in the league. We talked to him about that yesterday. He did not know that. We dropped that one on him, but he is good in space. He said, I really want to key the quarterback's eyes, and one of the things I want to do is I want to square up and find the quarterback. He said, I can't cheat as much with Steve McNair because he will find the outlets.
3rd receiver, Demetrius Williams, 2nd down and 10. That ball's deflected, almost picked off. Sean Phillips was in there. Flag is down, 25-yard line. The defense of San Diego seems to be playing downhill.
Yeah, and they have a lot of speed, Kevin. They have some athletic players.
Holding offense number 62. 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
They have some athletic players, especially at the linebacker positions, players like Phillips and Merriman. And what they have the ability to do is as they're rushing the passer, they can drop off and jump up and knock balls down. They're very comfortable in space, and both of those guys are great athletes.
There are 6 now in the secondary for San Diego. 6 of them. 2nd down and 20. McNair needs the 44. Mike Anderson in the backfield. Oh, they got him. McNair, though, gets it away. Merriman had him. Will they call it an incompletion or in the grasp? Flag is down.
There was no foul for intentional grounding. The ball got back to the line of scrimmage. And the receiver in the area.
All right,
3rd down.
Flag was picked up.
And see, Mike Carey gave Steve McNair the benefit of the doubt. Steve McNair is a big physical quarterback, and he's strong in the pocket, and he's hard to bring down. And most quarterbacks, they probably would have called him down in the grass, but because Steve McNair has the ability, he's done it over and over again in his career, he's kicked out of those plays, and he's made some great plays. You give him a little bit more leeway.
3rd and 20. Again, they need the 44. 6 in the San Diego secondary. 57 seconds to play. 2 timeouts remaining for Baltimore. What did Mike Carey see?
Delayed offense. 5-yard penalty is still 3rd down.
It's a veteran quarterback not getting the playoff, much to the chagrin of Coach Brian Billick.
Well, this was a problem last week when we talked to McNair a little bit. He said the number of formations, when I was in Tennessee, I had 1 or 2 for each play. Here we have 8 or 10, and sometimes there's some confusion. And so early in the game last week, you saw that, especially on third down.
3rd and 25. Anderson, no place to go there. Brought down by Luis Castillo. Here come the boos. It's a gain of 1. They do nothing with the possession, and they got to punt the ball for a second consecutive time.
Well, you look right here, you look at that wristband, and that's the wristband that Steve McNair will use, especially on third down. And what they'll do is they'll call a color and a number. He'll look down and refer to that. But again, that goes to show you a veteran quarterback using a wristband. He's not completely comfortable with this system and terminology just yet.
San Diego has called the timeout, and there's a difference between looking at a wristband, reading off the play, and hearing the play from the sideline and visualizing it.
It's how it hits your brain, Kevin. And, you know, if you hear the play from the sideline, a veteran quarterback, almost immediately a picture of that play pops into your mind. Now all of a sudden you're really reading words, and it doesn't quite hit your brain the same way. So that is a little bit of the adjustment for Steve McNair as well.
2 timeouts remaining for both teams. Cook will punt. And Parker is back at the 35. Returnable. 34-yard line. Corey Ivy brings him down. Ivy is a great special teams player. He's an extra defensive back. Throws him for a 1-yard loss after the 48-yard punt. So now young Phillip Rivers, with 2 timeouts, will begin it at the 32-yard line, and the wind at his back.
Now, I think you give him a shot. You got a great kicker. You have to understand the situation. 2 timeouts, 38 seconds left. Take a shot or 2 down the field, but be smart with it. You cannot afford a turnover or sack in this situation.
Officially at the 33. 6 in the secondary for the Baltimore Ravens. Make it 5. 5 extra defensive backs. It's McCardell in motion. Here comes Suggs. Wisely Rivers throws it away, but who is he throwing to? I guess they say Gates.
Yeah, Kevin, we talked about how the San Diego Chargers are a great screen team, and they have a number of different screens to a number of different players, and one of the players they want to feature in the screen game is Antonio Gates. You have to find a way to get the ball into the hands of your great players, and Antonio Gates has been a great player for the Chargers.
It's 2nd down and 10. 2 timeouts for Rivers. Oh, he bobbled the snap, quickly falls down. He and Hardwick, the center, had a hard time with the exchange. So now let's see what Baltimore does to the clock. They've taken a timeout, wisely so. 30 seconds remaining. Baltimore with 1 timeout as we stagger our way to halftime here in Maryland.
You're on a mission to get an amazing new TV this year, but you want to be absolutely sure you pick the right one. Circuit City makes it simple. That's because we've got thousands of online customer reviews that rate the hot new stuff. And right now, get no interest for 24 months on all TVs $4.99 and up. Plus, get up to 10% off TVs, only at Circuit City.
You go back to the last exchange from center. Watch where Phillip Rivers' hands are. There's a little bit of a gap in between his right and left hand. That was just enough for that ball to slip through, and that's not what you want in that situation. A little confusion. Looked like he was all over the line of scrimmage, and there's some uncertainty between him and the center.
Well, he's 6'5". You've talked about before how low he gets under that center. Hardwick.
Yeah, they're trying to get him more upright under center, Phillip Rivers, so he can see more of the field. But Hardwick likes to really get down in a low crouch stance.
No changes either way. 3rd and 11. They need the 43. Tomlinson whittles his way into the grasp of Suggs on a gain of 2 to the 34, and San Diego's going to have to punt. So a timeout has been taken. That is the last timeout of Baltimore. You know, it was interesting talking with Brian Billick about Marty Schottenheimer. And he said Marty, quote, was the godfather of don't beat yourself. And I thought that pretty much sums up Marty's philosophy about a young quarterback and with a very good team in his palm.
Yeah, don't beat yourself in terms of turnovers and penalties. And I learned very early on, my short time with Marty, I spent 4 years with him in Kansas City. He took me aside and said, if you don't take care of the football, you can't play for me. And I think Phillip Rivers understands the importance of ball security and field position, but you can't play for Marty Schottenheimer if you're not smart with the ball. He just won't tolerate it. He'll find somebody else.
So San Diego's got a punt. Fourth punt in 7 possessions. Sams will let it go. Terrific punt. 5 seconds on the hang time, and the ball down at about the 14-yard line. 51-yard punt. 13 seconds to play before the half. You know, I had a question about when you were with the Raiders making the trip from West Coast to East Coast. The body clock was screwed up. Tell us what the Charger players are going through with that same California to the East Coast trip this week.
Well, it's a long way to travel, and actually the Chargers came in on Friday, late Friday. We'll let them sleep in a little bit on Saturday. They want to get their time clocks adjusted. Reality is they're playing a 10 o'clock start for them in terms of their body clock, so they want to get that adjustment. But the important thing is get up early, get a good breakfast, get yourself ready to go out and compete. And that's what the Chargers have done so far today.
I mean, is it a big deal?
It is. It can be. And again, I think Marty's made a big deal about the fact that, hey, we've come east in the past and we've had a lot of success.
Like last year, winning at New England, at Washington. So both quarterbacks, including McNair, throwing a touchdown pass, both threw picks and a couple of Kading field goals. 13-7, undefeated San Diego leading undefeated Baltimore. We take you to New York after this. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Wednesday.
What's the psychology behind his DVDs?
It's a souvenir.
Put the weapon down.
New Criminal Minds. Then a new CSI New York starts off chilly.
Call an ambulance. Call 911.
He was stabbed with an icicle?
Our evidence is about to turn into a big pool of water.
And ends up downright cold.
You and I were into each other, but every time we're in the same room together.
I didn't mean for this to happen.
A new CSI New York after Criminal Minds, Wednesday.
2.5 Men. CBS Mondays.
You are watching NFL Sunday Ticket.
He's got nothing to field ahead of him.
Spent all Sunday watching games on the tube.
Spent all Sunday watching games on the tube.
But you missed 85 and there was nothing you could do.
Nothing for you to do.
So here's a suggestion from a real good friend.
Good friend, good friend.
You can check out the games on the NFLN.
Check out the games on the NFLN.
You didn't see me.
See me.
On Sunday.
Sunday.
Well, you can see me.
Yeah, yeah.
On Tuesday and Wednesday.
Introducing NFL Replay. The 4 best games from Sunday, replayed on NFL Network with bonus material like coaches commentary. Tuesday and Wednesday, 2 games per night.
NFL Replay.
Replay.
On Tuesday.
Tuesday.
And Wednesday. On the NFL Network.
NFL Replay. Tuesday and Wednesday nights, only on NFL Network.
Joe, you're glad we got the Durango, right?
Of course.
And you liked all the money we saved when we bought it, right?
Got us a bigger boat.
And you like all the room and the ride?
Sure.
Oh, and how about the Hemi engine and the DVD player and the hands-free cell? Then why won't you use the navigation system?
I'm not lost.
Dodge Durango.
This is starting to look familiar.
It's a lot of great stuff for a great price.
Hi, I'm James Brown in New York. Coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, all the scores and highlights from Week 4. The Sprint Halftime Report coming your way next.
We don't have a body to prove a murder actually took place.
Details.
We don't need a body.
That's true if you don't mind losing.
Thank you for the tip, because I forgot about that part of the first day of law school. You're a total freak.
So does that mean we're not grabbing a drink later? I don't even like you.
I don't like you either.
Shark. New episode CBS Thursday after CSI.
Jets linebacker Jonathan Vilma is famous for plugging holes. But even he can't help every hurricane-ravaged family put their homes and lives back together, all by himself. Maybe you can give him a hand. Help the NFL and United Way rebuild communities. Find out how at unitedway.org.
Earlier on the NFL Today.
I had a chance to talk to my son last night, and he did come home from the hospital, and he's looking forward to coming back later in this year to play football again.
Jeff Fisher got up and said, men, we're not cashing in the season. I expect to win with Vince Young.
Congratulations to everybody in New Orleans for pulling off a new start for the Crescent City.
Lost in all the hoopla this week, the fact that T.O. is injured. He's expected to start today. This wraps up a wild week.
The NFL Today, Sundays at noon Eastern on CBS. CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. Sprint, together with Nextel. Power up.
Oh, I wish you guys could dip in and hear this as we go into commercial break. As we welcome you back to our New York studios and the Sprint Halftime Report. I'm James Brown, along with three guys who really do love each other, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer. The score at halftime, take a look. 13-7, San Diego leading the Baltimore Ravens. Shannon.
Total domination by the Chargers. The Ravens only have 45 yards. Here, Phillip Rivers up top to Malcolm Floyd. He's no kin to Pink Floyd, but he did score a touchdown.
Pink Floyd's a band.
Don't worry about it. Hey, Daniel Wilcox, 5-yard touchdown. He ties the ball game. 2 field goals by the Chargers, 13-7 at the half, guys.
All right, let's move along and see what's happening between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jets over at the Meadowlands. Boom.
Well, you settle in, you get ready to watch this game. Dominic Rowe goes in, 7-0. You think the route is on, but no. The Jets are showing some fight. How about this throw by Chad Pennington? How about the run after the catch by Jericho Cotchery? Watch the stiff arm right here. 7-7. Then Mike Nugent comes back with an onside kick. Jets recover. They go down the field. Kevin Barlow, he goes in the middle. Jets are leading 14-7. The 2-minute drill at the end of the first half. Nobody does it better than Peyton Manning. Joseph Adai goes in. 14-14 at halftime.
Cotchery's 3 receptions lead all wide receivers in the NFL, all knotted at 14, as Boom said. Miami at Houston, Dan.
And a big concern for Miami and Dante Culpepper is they've been sacked 3 times today, 19 times on the year.
Who's supposed to block that guy?
I have no idea. And David Carr, Vaughn Holiday comes back, gets a sack
block
there.
that guy.
Who's supposed to block that guy?
Watch his play by Will Allen. Watch this one right here. He strips Andre Johnson. Nice play.
Police have been robbed.
Yeah, he was robbed. Stolen, robbed, but not much going on in this game at all. 3-3.
Texans have won the only previous meeting between the two. Vikings at the Bills. Shannon.
Play fake here by Brad Johnson. His fullback slips in the flat. Tony Richardson catches it, turns up the field. 24-yard pickup would lead to a field goal. J.P. Lossman comes back, looks for Peerless Price, 16 yards. And here, on the 1 yard, what you talking about, Willis McGahee? You over the top.
What you talking about?
7-3, 7-6 at the half. Buffalo leads.
Bills trying to snap a 4-game losing streak against the NFC. Meanwhile, Cowboys at the Titans. Boom.
Who's the rookie quarterback in this game, guys? Drew Bledsoe, first offensive series, interception to Chris Hope. 2 guys right there, I don't know. But then he comes back and he's going to find Terry Glenn for a 13-yarder. And he passes yours truly on the all-time touchdown passing list. Then he comes back and he's going to pass me again. Easy, Shannon. Terry Glenn right there. Vince Young struggling today, 14-6.
Now you're kicking dust on you. Not only do you pass.
All right, let's give Dan a shot at it. Dan, it'll be the Saints at the Carolina Panthers.
And Reggie Bush right here before the game. He got a nice, serious look. He's ready to go. And the rookie on the other side, go D'Angelo Williams. He goes up the middle, their first-round pick for 30 yards. That sets up Steve Smith, slant right in the middle. Watch him run over to safety, get in, puts them up. That touchdown, 7-3.
Road team has won the last 5 meetings in this one. Cardinals and Falcons. Boy, a milestone here, Shannon.
Yeah, the Cardinals hadn't generated much offense, but you don't need to. When Michael Vick is heading 85 south, now the Cardinals are headed 85 north. Adrian Wilson.
How far?
NFL Cardinals record, 99-yard return. Algie Crumpler's going to get him. He had too many croissants this morning for breakfast. He can't catch it.
Finally, a tight end showing
12-10. Falcons.
Yeah, a little bit of water on top of those croissants certainly will swell it. Hey, Kansas City getting healthy against the 49ers, Boomer.
Look at Damon Yard. He was a backup to Dan Marino. and he's got 2 touchdown passes, including that one right there. Here comes Larry Johnson.
Taught him everything he knows, Boom.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Look at that play action. Look at that. Form in the pocket.
How come he's not doing Nutrisystem commercials? That's what I want to know.
didn't have
There you
to.
go. Eddie Kennison.
He's in shape.
In Kansas City, the route is on over the 49ers.
You know, as we get ready to swing out here, why did you look over here when you said he's in shape?
He was.
He said he was, right?
We got that day. We got that blueberry pie coming for you.
Oh, you know, I saw that back in the room, by the way. Second half coming up between Baltimore and, of course, San Diego. 2 top defenses right after this.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. Sprint together with Nextel. Power up.
Dennis Haysbert stars in The Unit, CBS Tuesdays.
NFL Sunday Ticket brought to you by the Volkswagen GTI. Make friends with your fast.
V-dub here in full effect with Trey and this ride.
It looks like it could fly.
What time is it?
I don't know.
Time to unpimp the auto. Oh, snap. German engineering in the house, yeah.
The Volkswagen GTI.